For this final exercise in lesson 4, we're going to rumble. This is everything that we've been working toward in the course so far. We're going to really examine the SFD that you put together in the first 2 exercises from this lesson. We're going to turn it inside out. We're going to challenge some of the conspiracies and confabulations in it, and we're going to figure out what's really going on. We have developed 4 very powerful questions for examining the SFD. The first one: what more do I need to learn and understand about the situation? What are the facts of the story? What assumptions am I making? Number 2, what more do I need to learn and understand about the other people or the other person in the story? What additional information do I need? What questions or clarifications might be helpful? So for me, one of the lines that I have found that is incredibly productive in these conversations is, can you help me understand? Whether I'm talking to my 16-year-old daughter, whether my 10-year-old son, my husband, the other leaders on my leadership team, help me understand, walk me through. I'm not tracking. Because sometimes we need information and we approach people, sometimes I approach my kids with assumptions. You did this, it wasn't okay. As opposed to, help me understand what you were thinking when this came up. Because maybe I need more information, because maybe the story I'm making up is, man, they did this in just an act of pure defiance, which is really not like my kids, but how I can feel sometimes, especially if they make a choice that I feel like is a safety issue. Number 3, what more do I need to learn and understand about myself? Sometimes it's easier to, understand and learn more about other people, but I'm asking you now, what's really going on with me? What's underneath this response? What's really under and driving my SFD? What am I really feeling? Time to pull out the glossary again, look at the emotions and ask yourself, what are you really feeling? Because let me tell you, based on the research, the emotions that I know, whether you are, looking at this professionally or personally, the emotions, they're going to come up again and again and again. We call these the reoccurring plot line in our SFDs. Anxiety, boundaries, criticism, forgiveness, grief, guilt, integrity issues, overfunctioning and underfunctioning, meaning, and you can read about this in the book, overfunctioning and underfunctioning are patterned ways that we manage anxiety. Some of us, when things are anxious and we're in uncertainty, we overfunction, we micromanage, we control people around us, we think we know what's best for everyone. Raise your hand if you're an overfunctioner. Or in response to anxiety, some of us underfunction. We shut down, we don't show up fully, we really hide out a little bit. Some of what the reoccurring plot lines are about is shame. Let me tell you something. If you went through my SFD list, what you would find is I'm not good enough is a reoccurring plot line for me. Trust and vulnerability. So these are certainly not all of the emotions in your glossary, but they're the ones that come up over and over and over again. They're the ones that we have to grapple with. So when you're looking at question 3, what am I really feeling? Give yourself the opportunity to be really honest here. This is part of owning the story. And number 4, and this is a big question. The majority of SFDs have some level of blame or finger pointing in them because it's how we self-protect. You need to ask yourself in this 4th question, what part did I play in what happened? Sometimes the answer is I didn't play a part at all. And that's true. And you can just write down, I did not play a part in this. I don't see that I played a part in this. I had nothing to do with this. And that's fair. And that's true sometimes. But it's still helpful to write it down and ask yourself every time there's a struggle. One of the things I've done with my kids that is incredibly powerful is anytime they come home from school and there's a conflict that they're in, or they're really struggling with something, or a teacher didn't do something, a teacher was unfair, or a friend, I always start with, okay. I always start with empathy, but I always go to the first question of, do you think you played a part in this? because it's part of how we start challenging the SFDs, especially around blame and finger pointing. It's outside of our integrity to not be able to hold ourselves accountable and for mistakes and failures always to be someone else's fault. This is a question that gets at the heart of that. So take some time, answer these 4 questions, think about them, share them when they feel shareable for you, or at least share if on the boards in the group that you're taking this with, what the experience was like, really going in and rumbling with your SFD.